Tulafo Whanahu. As promised, I'm going to say that we're going to do 10.5 part B, which is the proofs. Now this will only be the reasoning questions, but it's very important not only for this year but also for year 9, year 10, as far as I know. So let's start. The question says, prove that the following two triangles are congruent. Now this question might be where they already give you the two triangles that you have to prove congruent. Otherwise you have to prove that the two triangles are. Now the important start, and I need you to follow these steps as I give it to you. The first important thing is to highlight or to mark the things that you already have. Now remember that we said there's 4 ways to prove congruency, and I'm going to write them down here so we can look at what we can use and what we can't use. So the first one was side, side, side. Then it was side, angle, side, angle, angle, side, and then right angle, hypotenuse, side. Now looking at those the two triangles, we need to find one of these conditions to prove it congruent. And now we're going to eliminate means to take out, we're going to eliminate what it is. There's no right angles there, not that they've given you, so I'm going to scratch out right angle side. There's no way that we can prove that 3 sides are correct, so we're going to scratch out the sides. What I do know and what I can see that they've given me is, and I'm going to highlight it with my pen, I can see that this side equal this side. So what I definitely have is I have a side and a side. So I have sides. Now they don't tell us anything about other sides, and I can't prove sides are equal if they don't give it to me. So you can see out of this that I can also take out the second one, which is side angle side, which only leave him with angle angle side. Now at this stage I've got one side, which means I still have to prove that there's 2 angles, that there's an angle and an angle that's the same. Now to start off with, I have to decide which angles it is. If I go back to angle angle side, the definition of angle angle side is angle angle and corresponding side. So it doesn't matter which 2 angles that I prove are the same. To start off, the first step in writing down will be to start off with a statement. All work needs to be done with this. If you do not have all of these steps, the whole problem will be incorrect. So I'm going to start off by saying, in triangle ABC and triangle, and it's just in triangle. And now remember, as we said previously, the order is very important. So I have to find what is the same as A, then E. Now if I look at A and E, there is some hints. They give us some hints. That line is parallel to this line. So we have 2 parallel lines. If I have 2 parallel lines, I can use alternate angles. So that angle and that angle is alternate. I can use co-interior angles. We don't have co-interior angles in this case. Or I can also use corresponding angles, where this angle corresponds to this angle, but because we don't have one transversal, we can't use that. So in this case we can use our alternating angles, but we can also use our vertical opposite angles. So let's see, if I have angle A and I have a parallel line DE here, I can say that angle A is the same as angle E. So which means, just to get our order right, I can then say A is alternate to angle E. I then have angle B. The same as B, because if I have 2 vertical lines, to B, 2 parallel lines with a transversal, then angle D will be the same as that. Also alternate angles, and then the last one then must be C, which will be two vertical opposite angles. So these will be two vertical opposite angles. Now I have done all the hard work. I have my triangle that's the same as that triangle. I know that A is the same as E, B is the same as D, and C is the same as C. What I now need to do is I have to prove that I'm going to use AAS. So I'm going to have down the side angle, angle, side. So to start off with, I can choose now any three angles or any two pairs of angles to show they are the same. So the first one that I'm going to use is I'm going to prove that this angle is the same as that angle. So A is going to be the same as E. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to say angle A is equal to angle E. Now remember, in geometry, if I make a statement, I must give a reason for saying so. My reason will be my code. And my code is the Z sign. Z for Zorro. Okay. Then my second step will be another angle. So I can now choose, do I want to show that C equals C? Let's do that. I'm going to say angle C equals angle C. There's something wrong with that pen, because when I said C, it wrote S, not the pen. Right, so angle C equals angle C. And the reason I can say this is because we have vertical opposite angles. Please take note, you could have also said, instead of that angle, I could have said that B is the same as D. Also alternate angles. Right, now I have proved angle, angle. So I've proved angle, angle, and then the side that's the same is also the order is important. And to look at the order, I'm going to use the order here. They showed me that AC is the same as, so angle AC is the same as CE, but we have to get the order right. So if they say angle AC, it's the same as EC. So AC is the same as EC. Now, what's the reason for doing that? Or what's the reason for making that statement? Well, this is given. And you have to say given as a reason for making a statement. Now, once that is done, I can finish. What did they say? They say prove that the triangles are congruent. So I'm going to say, therefore, I have now proven that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle EDC. Reason for that is angle, angle, side. You have to go and practice these. Whenever you do a question like this, like the ones that I'm going to give you soon, it's important that you actually draw the triangles in your book before you start the questions. The reason for that is because you'll have to do all this lines and numbers and things and signs and lines and circles and things on your on the figure, on the sketch, because that's what they're gonna want you to do in the exam. Okay, if you have any questions after you've tried the next 4 questions, please go and ask your teacher. So can you please do number 10 and do all of them, A, B, C, and D. Exactly, there should be a statement. There should be 3 lines of proving AAS, SSS, SAS, RHS, depends on which one is important, and then you have a final step. So you need to do number 10, A, B, C, D, in this order, showing your teacher when you come into class, and then here's your hint for my greeting today. Tofa!